So Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns got a huge win this weekend against their bitter rivals, the Oklahoma Sooners, and after it, the question must be asked. Can Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns contend for the Big 12 championship this year? A question we're going to go about answering right now. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe the Texas Longhorns could contend for the Big 12 championship? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. We're pushing towards 15,000 subscribers. We have an unbelievable community here, and I'd love to have you a part of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below, as those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, briefly talking about the game this weekend, what a performance by the Texas Longhorns on all sides of the football. Defensively, this is a team that's continually improving, and I'm really interested to see what the future holds for the Texas Longhorns defense, especially if they continue to get their guys in the recruiting classes. We're going to talk more about that, though. Offensively, we know what to expect from Steve Sarkisian. He's one of the most brilliant play callers in all of football, and that was on full display on Saturday. But this gets me into the question at hand. Are the Texas Longhorns in contention for the Big 12? And the simple answer to this is yes. Even though Texas currently sits with 2 losses, one thing we have to remember is one of those losses were to the Alabama Crimson Tide, who aren't a part of the Big 12. So right now, Texas only has 1 Big 12 loss. And one thing we also have to understand is that there are a lot of teams in the Big 12 right now that are playing really good football. Kansas may be coming off of a loss, but they've been one of the more fun and exciting teams in all of college football this year, and I'm really interested to see how they rebound. TCU continues to impress. Oklahoma State has looked much better than I think a lot of people realized, and Kansas State is on a tear right now. And that gets me to the point at hand, that as we sit here right now, Texas is surging at the exact right time, especially coming off of a game this weekend. Now, I'm super interested to see what the Texas Longhorns look like against Iowa State this weekend, because you just came off of an emotional win. You're playing an opponent that isn't ranked. How is this going to look? How are you going to be able to carry the momentum from this past weekend into next? That's something I'm really excited to see, because Steve Sarkisian and them, they have to be flying on cloud 9 right now, and deservedly so. Whenever we look at Texas, one thing that stands out is their offensive prowess and the ability they have to hurt defenses. And right now in the Big 12, there are several teams that are playing good defense, but you have to understand Texas has straight up mismatches. And they might not be alone in that in the Big 12, but they have mismatches everywhere. At wide receiver, Xavier Worthy is one of the toughest guys to cover in the nation. At tight end, I tried telling people before this game, I've tried telling people since he was in high school, Jatavian Sanders is a matchup nightmare. Whenever you package him, Xavier Worthy, Bijan Robinson, Quinn Ewers, and Steve Sarkisian on the sideline, it's a recipe for disaster for opposing defenses, because that's so much to try and focus on. You might be able to limit Xavier Worthy. You might be able to limit Bijan. But are you going to be able to limit the entire package? And that's where it gets incredibly difficult, and even more so with every name you pile on. If it was just Bijan and Xavier Worthy, well, now pick your poison. You try and limit one and just make sure the other doesn't kill you. Whenever you look and it's this name, this name, this name, this name, and whenever you look at who the offensive play caller is, that means he's got a lot at his disposal. So Texas has the offense to contend with anybody in the Big 12. And they've got the offensive play caller to be able to exploit matchups that I think they're very confident in. Defensively is where this gets very interesting. Because whenever we look at the Big 12 right now, Kansas's offense has been humming. They've been able to get it done in a multitude of ways, whether that's on the ground, through the air. They've been impressive. TCU, though, continues to pile it on teams offensively, and that's a team where if you're Texas, you've got to be looking at. Oklahoma State, another one that has been very impressive offensively. So for Texas's defense, this is why I made it a point to talk about it in the intro. This is a defense that week by week looks like it's continually improving. Now, is it a finished product? No, absolutely not. But PK is only in year 2. This is his first year getting guys in that he likes for his scheme, and those guys are only freshmen, or they're guys that came out the transfer portal and haven't had a whole lot of experience with PK in this setting just yet. So for this defense to be continually improving, that's all you could ask for if you're a Texas fan, and it's a sign that things are moving in the right direction. So now we have to circle back to the question originally asked. Can the Texas Longhorns contend for the Big 12? And the answer is yes. And in no way am I saying they're the favorites in the Big 12, or that they're going to win the Big 12, or that even they're guaranteed to go to the Big 12 championship. I'm not saying any of those. What I am saying is you look at a team that's surging at the right time, that got their quarterback back, that's playing inspired football, coming off of a huge win. This weekend's going to tell a lot, and I know there are going to be some people that overlook Iowa State. Iowa State has a top 15 defense in all of college football. They're a team you have got to take seriously, and when we look even past Iowa State, at the state of the Big 12 in particular, TCU has a top 10 offense. Oklahoma State has a top 25 offense. Baylor has a top 25 total defense. There are several teams within the Big 12 that you have got to watch out for outside the teams I named. You look at a Kansas State that is suffocating teams right now with their attack on offense and what they're able to do on defense. You look at a team such as a Kansas that is infectious, that's so much fun, that's so balanced on offense. They're going to look for a big rebound this week, and if they're able to get it, you have got to imagine they're going to be trying to roll the rest of the way. So Texas is surging at the right time. The path is not going to be easy because the Big 12 has got a lot of teams that are going to try and say something about Texas trying to contend, but what we do see out of Texas right now is a defense that's improving on a week-to-week basis. They're not a complete product. They're not finished, but they are getting better. How they're going to handle some of these high-powered offenses remains to be seen, but I'm very excited for it. Offensively, Texas has got weapons at every single position: wide receiver, tight end, running back, and quarterback. Whether it's Quinn Ewers or Hudson Card, the Longhorns are in a unique position where they feel confident in both quarterbacks playing winning football, but let's be very clear and very honest here. The offense has a different level to it with Quinn Ewers, and that's not saying anything bad about Hudson Card. That's just acknowledging how gifted that young man truly is, and that's why I can't wait for the game this weekend against Iowa State. A game some people will overlook, but Iowa State comes in with a great defense, and it's a perfect time for Texas to capture that momentum and turn it into something really positive. I'm really interested in hearing from all of you. Do you believe that the Texas Longhorns could contend for the Big 12? Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're saying. That's it. See ya.